Hi, my name is Willem Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to speak with the acclaimed singer and actress, Margret Avery. For more Margaret, you can read more about her right below this video, but in the meantime, here is my interview with the amazing Margaret. Well, good morning from New York City. I am speaking with another fellow New Yorker, Margret Avery. Margaret, it is so nice to meet you.
Oh, you too. It's my pleasure.
Margaret, I've had such a thrill researching you and listening to your beautiful music on Spotify. But before we get into all of that, I want to know, Margret Avery, where were you born? And when did you realize that you had a love of the arts, music, and singing?
I was born in Lorain, Ohio, and I actually started singing when I was a child. Uh, very young, at like 5 or 6 years old, I sang Hungarian Christmas songs for like the school play or something like that. I had my mother and my grandmother helping me with the lyrics in Hungarian and all of that. And then in high school, I sang with like a girl group that I put together. Nothing ever came of it. And then for some reason, I got hit with this stage fright that was like paralyzing. I am sure many artists can relate to this. It was just like, oh my God. And then I moved to New York City, came here to go to college, and then I started to study voice, and it just helped immensely. I just think anytime you are studying for whatever craft you're interested in the arts, it just helps to build your confidence and make you feel more comfortable. And I just studied, and worked with several different vocal coaches, and it helped immensely. And then, it's passionate. Once you get in touch with that part of yourself where you've been given a gift and you have to do something with it. You can't just sing at home to your pets, which I did for a long time. My cats loved it. But I recorded my first CD and a single, and now I'm signed to an indie record label called CCVM, started by the wonderful, amazing Carrie Cole.
It's amazing. Well, Margaret, I love that. And I love that obviously as a kid, you had encouragement from your family to sing. And then coming to New York, I know even if you weren't born in New York, what is it like if you're here for more than 10 years, you become like an official New Yorker? Thus my fellow New Yorker, Margaret. And by the way, I won't give street names, but you literally live up the block from me and I can't wait to get coffee with you. But Margaret, I also love the fact that during this pandemic, you not only signed with an indie label where you are creating amazing songs with the songwriters at that label, but you got to get back in touch with another love of yours, acting. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, a friend of mine who is actually a psychic as well asked me what I was doing with my acting career. And I hadn't said anything about it or done anything in years. And he said, you've got to get back into that. And then a former acting coach of mine sent me an email during the pandemic. What are you doing? You can't like let this go. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I have to get back in. But to backtrack, when I first started acting, which was some years ago, as a singer, I was asked to audition for an off Broadway like musical variety show, and I got cast in several different parts. And here's a really funny story. In that scenario, there was a sketch with like 3 different guys singing and talking, whatever. And one of the actors couldn't show up for a sold out Saturday Night Live performance. And the director asked the other cast members, well, would one of you guys like take his place? I mean, he had a legitimate reason, but the other actors wouldn't be able to do this sketch for that night. And no one raised their hand. And I was like, oh my God, I'll do it. And the director looked at me and she said, did you not notice you are a woman? I said, watch this. I went into the other room. I got a baseball cap. I pulled all my hair up in a baseball cap, pulled it down, wiped off my lipstick, penciled in a mustache, and she said, you're on. So I did it. I did the sketch because I'm like, I gotta help these guys, do this. It was way too much fun. And when I was done, the director came running backstage and she was just like, oh my God, that was the best I had ever seen that sketch done. Well, the acting bug, it just, you know, it bit me hard during this performance. I had way too much fun. And then I decided to study more. Again, that studying thing to, you know, hone in the confidence and the comfort of being in front of an audience and on camera. So I did, you know, I studied with various people, and then I started getting cast in a lot of different roles. I did the first indie film that was done by the Indian director Manan Singh Kadahora. And then, you know, a tsunami of life hit my life where I, you know, lost work, lost money, didn't do anything. And so acting went to the wayside. Come another tsunami called COVID-19, and I was able to start taking classes again through Zoom and meeting more people and getting back into it. And so, you know, the two loves of my life, the acting and singing, are once again.
Margaret, I absolutely love it. And just, I love that story so much. This little kid in you that is sometimes just screaming out to say, I can do it. And that sense of play that you still have is absolutely amazing. And to just witness also how it has traversed in these moments of turbulence, tsunami, where you just keep moving forward. And you mentioned two things that I want to highlight. One, to the kids out there who think that maybe just getting on a reality show or having 5 million Instagram likes and followers is gonna, you know, get you to become a great talent. It takes craft, it takes artistry, and it takes studying. And you are a perfect example of that. And number two, that sense of play that you have obviously never lost, that you didn't look at this tsunamis that came into your life as problems, but as opportunities. And Margaret, for anyone that has Spotify, well, I'm sure everyone has it, they can look and listen to your music. You are a beautiful singer, but you are an amazing storyteller as well. So your acting is evident. And
I have another story.
Please tell me them all, Margaret.
When I was in Paris some years ago, I was planning on becoming more of a jazz blues singer at that time, or thinking about maybe should I move to Paris? And I was hanging around, going to different clubs, and I'm hanging out in this club where Duke Jordan was playing. And I'm sitting at the bar having a glass of champagne, and standing next to me is Duke Jordan and the owner of the restaurant. And we all started talking. And Duke Jordan finds out that I'm a singer. He's like, oh, you have to get up and sing a song. And of course, I'm like, what? Stage fright? Are you kidding me? And the next thing that I know, he's like, boom, he turns around and he goes right up on the stage and he announces me. I was like, I didn't have time to be nervous. I was just like, oh shit, I have to get up on stage right now. And it was like in seconds flat, we had to pick a song that we both knew, and boom, you know, I'm singing.
Margaret, where does this chutzpah come from? I freaking love it.
I don't know. It was like fear driven. And I was just like, oh my God. So we did this song, and everybody in the room thought that we'd been, you know, you guys must have been performing for years. No, we just met. Anyway, this guy came running up the stage and he was like, you have to sing April in Paris. And I'm like, I don't know April in Paris. Bernard was his name. I'll never forget it. And I was like, I promise you I will learn April in Paris. I promise. And then I got off the stage and I met everybody in the room. Duke Jordan came over to me after the performance and he said, I want your picture taken with me because you're going to be famous. And someone took our picture. I have never been able to get that picture because this is before cell phones, before everyone had a cell phone. I never got the photograph, but it was a fun moment and a great memory. So,
what a great memory.
Yes, exactly.
And Margaret, I want to touch on something that you mentioned too. And again, call me an old soul, whatever, but I am such a firm believer in reminding, especially the actors and performers I direct and get to work with. As a performer, I wish more people had told this to me. Whether or not you have video of it or photos of it, there are moments in life, especially as an artist, because as we know, these beautiful, blissful moments are few and far between, but that no one will ever be able to take that memory away from you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's one of those memories I cherish deeply because it was so fast and spontaneous.
How romantic, Margaret. I want to do like a short film. This gorgeous young woman at the bar with champagne. Oh, hey, yeah, I'll get up on stage. Show me stage right. Boom. I'm not saying you said it out of the corner of your mouth like that. I apologize. Sometimes my mother says that when I act as a woman in like scenes, I become her. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but Margaret, I apologize. Because that's how my mother would do it. Show me the stage. My mom is like Mae West meets Judy Garland. So I apologize for that.
What a great combination.
I'm sure you were a lot more elegant than that.
Oh, goodness. And my other story is that I got to sing Christmas songs, yet again as an adult, for the store windows of Lord & Taylor once years ago. And when I got that opportunity—
In New York?
In New York. And I remember going in front of the store, and I always loved the Christmas windows in New York are so sublime. And I was just like pinching myself, standing in front of Lord & Taylor going, oh my God, that's my voice. You know what I mean? Like I sang those Christmas songs. It was very exciting. It was a very exciting moment. Yeah, I know I have stories, darling.
You've done it all. And this is just going to be continued. And in moving forward, Margaret, throughout, as we hopefully get out of this soon, I want to know, I was going to ask you before the last question, but I guess you already said it. Do you see yourself now having these two beautiful career paths as a singer-songwriter, as an actress, continuing moving side by side, or perhaps continuing to cross with one another?
I like that idea of crossing with one another. Woo, I love that. Because you just don't know what opportunities will present themselves. So you have to be open, and all creative people are pretty open about these things. And so, again, that's where the time spent in practicing and honing in your skills come into play, because then you're ready to hit the mark. And so that's been my goal in these last, however many months. A lot of us have been home, is honing in skills and learning how to self-tape, for heaven's sakes. That's like
I know we're all becoming our own videographers, editors, producers, director of photographies.
Right. So that was another skill set. And it's okay. You just bite the bullet and do it, You just
Margaret, I will never forget your story of saying I can do it, putting on the ball cap, mustache, and doing your thing. And you're badass. And excuse my French, my mom, if she were here, she'd slap me for saying so. But you are badass. You are unapologetically living with such kindness and gratitude. But you are a perfect example of someone who puts in the work and that great things come. And I'm so grateful for the time that we had today. And I can't wait to continue the conversation one day soon in person.
Yes, I look forward to that, since we're neighbors.
Thank you so much, Margaret.
My pleasure.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.